"Hey, Bertie," one of them called out, shit-faced. "Bertie, come in here. Bring in some more beer. And for these two here, give them each a beer." "No beer for them," growled Bertie, indignant. "They're under legal age." "Ah, go on, Bertie. Give them a beer for Christ's sakes. What, are you going to arrest them?" She laughed elegantly. "You heard. I'll bring them both in some nice Coke and potato chips." "How's that, kids? Good by you?" "Fine," we chimed in together. "Great." She returned with potato chips heaped in a dirty cut glass bowl. A curtain divided the room. The music on loud. We all had to shout to hear ourselves. Earl spoke with the bulls, who were interested to learn that we were virgins. They wanted to help us along with the induction, impart their experience. But each seemed at a loss about what to say. "Virgin," one kept repeating over and over. "Virgin, huh?" And nodded profoundly. His partner filled in the ensuing silence with, "Just don't be nervous is the thing. That nervousness spoils it. Just relax." The other bull looked queerly at his partner. "You sound like you're the fucking whore." "What are you, the hoe? Relax my ass. Who gives a fuck?" "What, you want to fuck in yourself, I think? You got pussy under that pants of yours." And so on. Then suddenly the curtains parted and a man in shirt sleeves with his hand touched to his horn-rimmed glasses hurried out. A moment later, the most beautiful woman I'd ever seen in my life, naked in high heels, stepped out, looked around, and said, "Who's next?" As one facing a summary execution, I followed her lonely, lovely back through the curtains, into a room outfitted with a bed, a sink, a window, and a coat rack. I stood off to the side at the end of the room, farthest from the bed, unable to bring myself to look at her. "My name is Michelle," she said, to my lowered eyes. I nodded with a stiff smile. "Hi." "Hi," she responded in a fur-stroking voice. "And what's your name?" "Alan," I croaked. "Hi, Alan. You look French, you know. Are you French?" My mother's French," I offered, horrified to have even mentioned my mother in such a place. I didn't want to touch her or be touched. I wanted to go home. But Michelle moved right up on me and placed her palms flat on my chest. Her perfume filled my head, and she asked, "Do you have the chip?" Wordlessly, I handed her the chip. She leaned down, slipped it into her high-heeled shoe, the blue disc against her pale white ankle. I unlaced my sneakers, hoping my socks wouldn't smell. I still remember that, yeah? They did. Their stench unmistakable. Quickly, I sat down on the cold floor, peeled them off. All this time, Michelle watched. I dared not raise my eyes or acknowledge her stare, but could feel it on me, hungry. I climbed to my feet, tugging my t-shirt around my shoulders. "Take it off," said Michelle. I pulled it over my head, dropped it onto the pile of my clothes. How strange to see the same dungarees that my mother washed, ironed, and folded, lying now on the floor of a whorehouse. Jesus, no wonder I'm so fun. Anyway, ashamed, I stood there in my briefs. "Take it all off," said Michelle, running a small spade-shaped tongue lasciviously over her lips. "All of it?" I asked, surprised. "Yes," she said, "all of it." Suddenly, from the other side of the curtains, the detectives who had listened to every word exploded in laughter. "Ah! Did you hear that? All of it? All of it! Ah! Hey," cried the other policeman, gasping for breath. "Hey, Mrs. Whore, should I take it all off?" "You bet, Mr. John, all of it! Ha 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 ha!" I felt crushed. I still do. Fuck you. Sympathy. You must be from Queens, too. Fuck Queens. Let's hear it. Fuck Queens. Anyway. There you go.
And fuck the Queen.
Don't mind them, said Michelle softly. She led me by the hand to the sink where, against the backdrop of their laughter, she lathered her palms and reached down, cupped my genitals in her hand, and gently soaked them. For hygienic purposes, she explained intelligently. This protects you and protects me. I nodded that I understood, but my genitals didn't. Hung cold, ashamed, shrunken with dread. You think this is going to get me laid? Only in Queens would they think that. Anyway. Oh, no, that's terrible. I'm sorry. Yeah. My genitals. Hung cold, ashamed, shrunken with dread, inspired by the derision of the police. I looked down at them peevishly. The time had come. I practiced for this over and over and over in fantasy. Fuck the police. Please don't crap out on me now, I said to my genitals. But they played dead.